lost that fight.
No, everyone said he was closer.
Was it?
No, he lost.
He lost the first 3 rounds, won the last 2.
Nah, even the fourth round.
Nah, I'll give him the first 3, Jones the last 2. The thing is, I think we've just been on top for 10 years, and after this, you got all that wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the decline, but his decline is where they're at right now, so that's why it looks level.
Yeah. No, but at the same time, like one thing I've noticed with John Jones, anytime it's a lightweight his size,
He does bad.
struggles. Alexander, that is a struggle.
Minute.
And Brains, same size.
Struggled. Thiago Santos struggled.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, I think he's going to lose one of his next 3.
yeah.
Let me just put up my notes. All right, this this is the Wednesday law class. Also, remember, check out Commanding Gen.YAHANNA's radio show, Monday 2 a.m. Also, there's classes in the States, Tuesday through Friday. So you got the Brotherhood class, the law class, the Scripture breakdown class, the Lashon Kodash, which means the Holy Tongue. Those is midnight. And then you got the Sabbath service. Also here we have classes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till 9, B18, 5 PW, 394 Lodge Road. So come on down to those, man. Also call the school and whatnot. And then the next feast day we got coming up is March 8th and 9th, which is a Saturday and Sunday next month. Coming down to the school, B18, 5 PW, 394 Lodge Road. And today we're gonna talk about Valentine's Day, man, because everybody's getting ready to what is it? Friday. Everyone's getting ready to go crazy on Friday, man. People are saying, "Oh, this year it's perfect because it lands on the weekend and whatnot." Everybody's going crazy for it. It was estimated that one of the years they made about 18 billion just off Valentine's, man. 18 billion off some pagan holiday, man. All these holidays have origins. You see, all these holidays, they all have origins, man. And most of these origins come from who? The Romans, the Greeks, and whatnot. Those kind of people. The origins come from them. That's where Valentine's Day comes from. Then over time, they generalize it and add more things to it. And then one nation would celebrate it this way. Another nation would celebrate it that way. and then before you know it, over time, they just tell you what, it's just a day for you to love your woman, when really that's not what it is, man. Now, there was certain sects of people during Valentine's Day that would beat their wife up, man, and talk about it will make them fertile. You heard about that one? Would beat their wife up with cow skin and goat skin, and it says that would make them fertile. Now, if you women want to celebrate Valentine's Day, I mean, why don't you do that part? Because that's part of it. Also, it's about what? People getting drunk, man. About drunken orgies and all these different things. Like depending on what nation's history you look at it from, they all celebrated it in different ways, but it all originates from the same place. It's all pagan, man. From there, give me a 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2. So all of it's pagan, man, and basically this is just you giving into your woman. That's all this is, man.
That's right.
That's all it is. Really, every man hates Valentine's Day, man.
That's right.
Even in the world, men don't like Valentine's Day. Men look at it like, oh, I have to do this again. Like, come on, man. It's no man likes it. Even in the world, men don't like buying teddy bears and flowers, and men don't like buying it, man. Go ahead.
Preach the word. Be instant in season.
The Bible says, preach the word, be instant in season. Now, you have different seasons. You have times when what? Things is going on. Like when you have the rumors of World War III, what happens? We preach the word in season. So at that season, we'll be talking about World War III. And then now, this is the season of everyone getting ready to celebrate a pagan holiday. So this is why we chiming in on it, man. We preach the word in season. This is why we're talking about the Windrush scandal again, with them sending when was the flight? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday morning, man. They sent most of them home, calling them offenders. And then when you looked on there, most of them weren't even big offenders. Probably been arrested like what once. One of them was arrested about when he was about 13 or something. Which lets you know, man, that we forget everything that they do to us, but they don't forget. They don't forget the things that we do, man. Even when even the things that we do wrong against the system, they don't forget it. And this is why with our oppressor and the Lord, it's not one in the same, man. Because with the Lord, guess what? You can clean up your life, man.
That's right.
You can change your life, and guess what? The Lord don't hold the things that you've done wrong against you. The Lord will be like, you know what? You got a clean slate. Quickly pull that scripture from me, Isaiah 1:18. The Lord will say, you know what? You've got a clean slate, man. Because we've done many things wrong. Imagine if the Lord held everything that we've done wrong against us, we would be finished, man. But the Lord says, you know what? Just change your ways and I won't hold it against you. Go ahead.
Isaiah 1:18. Come now and let us reason together.
The Lord said, come now, let us reason together. Now the Lord's going to reason with us, man. The Lord's saying, listen, you do this and I'll do this. Now, with Esau and our oppressor, there's no reasoning, man. You got arrested when you was 12. He still deports you when you're like 50 years old, man. He ain't willing to reason with you, man. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, though your sin be as scarlet.
Scarlet is like what? Bright red. Scarlet is bright red, right?
That's right.
Yeah, scarlet is bright red. So now it says, though your sins be as scarlet, meaning what? The things you're doing, I can see it, man. Everything you're doing, it's like you're illuminating to me. You see, like when the helicopters is looking for a criminal and is in ultraviolet light and whatnot. The Lord's saying our sins is like ultraviolet light before him, man. Yeah, go ahead.
They shall be white as snow.
And white as snow means clean, man. It means clean, meaning what? The Lord's gonna get rid of all that crimson. He ain't gonna see the things that we do. Let us reason together. That's what the Lord says. Go ahead.
Though they be red like crimson.
Though they be red like crimson. I believe scarlet's purple, right? I'm sure it is. I believe scarlet's purple and crimson's red. Yeah. Though they be red like crimson. Go ahead.
They shall be as wool.
They shall what?
Be as wool.
Meaning what? The Lord's saying, yo, though you're doing all of this, I'll give you a clean slate, man. Whereas your oppressor, he ain't willing to give you no clean slate, man. He ain't willing to start over again. Meanwhile, we must forgive them and let them start all over again. We must say, you know what? This one's different to his forefathers. This one's different to his forefathers. He done this when they done this in their ignorance. We must say that to them. But when it comes to us, we get deported, man, after 20-something years of not ever being arrested. Listen, man, the Lord who's the most righteous, he don't even hold these things against us, whereas our oppressor, that's the most unrighteous, he holds these things against us, man. Go ahead. And this is why every black man should be very grateful that God ain't no white man, man. Because if God was some white man, listen, you couldn't be forgiven for nothing. You couldn't get forgiveness for nothing, man. Go ahead.
Verse 19. If ye be willing and obedient.
If what?
If ye be willing and obedient.
Listen, the Lord saying, if we be willing and obedient, all that wickedness we've done, he will forget we've ever done it, man, and we'll be like a new person. Guess what? Once you've been arrested in the UK, you can change as much as you want. You still got that criminal record, man. You still can't go get that job. You can be reformed, man. After 50 years, you done a theft 50 years ago. Guess what happens? The Windrush scandal comes to say, you know what, while you committed a crime, we need to send you back to Jamaica. After they're the ones that what? Asked us to come here for work. And up until this day, most recently, if all of that generation that came over ain't died off already, most of them was dying from the illnesses related to working in them factories anyway.
That's right.
So meanwhile, Esau was relaxing, and listen to this. While you thought you've landed your dream job, you're gonna get a house and take care of your family, Esau was sitting on the couch with his feet up, man, and you was breathing in all the asbestos and whatnot. Even nowadays, some of the jobs we're probably doing, 20, 30 years from now, it's gonna come out from now that what that job you was doing it's linked to this disease and blah 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 blah. Obviously, at the time they claimed they didn't know it was linked to a disease, but Esau don't have to worry about that because he wasn't working in the factories, he wasn't working on the train tracks without the right protective gear and whatnot. And then they make us join the military, the army, and then they have the cheek to say, "Oh, he died doing what he loved." No, man, really, he didn't love it, man. The thing is, this he just couldn't get no other job. He couldn't get no other job, and that was the only job he could get, and that's why people do it, man. And then they say he died doing the job he loved. That's a lie, man. He didn't love that job. But the whole point of this is what the Lord gives you a second chance, man. The Lord allows you to change. The Lord gives you a clean slate. But our oppressor, nah, man, no clean slate. You got that criminal record forever. You apply for a job, you can't get it. The police pull you over every time. Are you known to the police at all? That's the first question they ask. And the thing is, they already know that you're known to the police because they've got the system, man. They've got the details. When they pull over your car, before they pull over your car, they've got the system in there where it lets them know who's the driver, who the car's registered to. They just ask you all these questions to waste your time, man. But go ahead.
Obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land.
Listen, man, the Lord said, if we be obedient, we shall eat the good of the land. Listen, man, there's black men from the Windrush scandal that was obedient, man, unto their oppressor. After obedient unto their oppressor came here and worked, and he ain't gave them no good of the land, man.
That's right.
He ain't gave them nothing. You know what he's done? Sent them back to Jamaica.
Right.
On a charter flight. Sends them back, man. Whole week they was talking about flights is being cancelled due to the storm. Not that flight though. That flight was fine to go back through the storm though. What was the storm? Was it Storm Zero? What was the storm? Yeah, see, usually they cancel flights due to bad weather, but because it's just Jamaicans on the plane, they don't care if that plane comes down or not, man. They don't care if that plane falls out the sky, because to them it's not our problem. These are just Jamaicans and whatnot. And then if you've seen the racism the last week or so, our oppressors lighting fireworks and celebrating because of what? Because they left Brexit, man. They're celebrating because they left Brexit and fireworks and everything, which lets you know, man, everybody claims they love other nations, but the truth is everybody only loves their own nation except black people. I mean, we need to take that approach that they have. Every other nation has that approach. And then now it came out on the news today that British people are racial profiling Chinese and saying to them, get out of our country. Did you read the article? Yeah, they said, get out of our country. You're killing all of us. Listen, man. That's how it should be, man. Listen, the Lord has it that way. That lets you know that nations ain't supposed to mix, man. They're saying to the Chinese, you're killing everybody, but let me go back on topic. Give me Matthew chapter 16 and verse 24. That coronavirus is rough. I'm seeing videos of everyone just dropping. You see them just dropping straight down flat. It's like the normal 1 minute. The next minute, they're passing out, man. And that comes from what? They said it comes from them eating bats and all of those things, which lets you know what? All them heart disease and high blood pressure is another form of coronavirus, man, just with a different name. You will get these things also if you continue to eat pork and shrimp and crab and lobster and squid and all the things the Lord told us not to do. You will also get those things, man. And now, have you noticed all these plagues? Like if you read in the book of Exodus, there was all these plagues, man, coming up on our enemies. And what you're seeing right now is all these plagues is coming up again, man. Everyone who's been diagnosed with coronavirus, the Chinese, a few Edomites been diagnosed with it. I believe chicken pox is back, they said. They said chicken pox is back. All these plagues. Now, if you're not seeing what happened in Egypt happening again, you're deluded, man, and asleep, man. Because all these things which was happening in Egypt is happening right now again, man. Right. All them plagues is coming right back. And you know who sends those plagues? The Lord sends those plagues, man. People talking about, oh, these things is made in the lab. These things is made in the lab. Listen, man. If the Lord didn't give the go-ahead, these things couldn't be made in the lab, man. Listen, the Lord allows what he wants to allow, man. Now, if there is a man making it in the lab, guess what? The Lord allowed him to make it in the lab. Because the Lord's in control of everything, man. If the Lord didn't want them to make it in the lab, the Lord could strike that man with a disability, man, so he can't make it. He could kill that man and so forth. People take the credit from the Lord, man. I like to give it to scientists. I heard a next crazy one. They said coronavirus is from 5G internet. Someone said that. Someone said because they set up 5G internet started in Wuhan, and it's side effects to 5G internet. Listen, man, it's not side effects to 5G internet. It's side effects to not following the dietary law. Go ahead.
That's silly because the 5G internet ain't even out yet.
See, that's what they're saying. They're saying it started there, or the trial running it there, and something along them lines, and something like that. Some guy was saying, "Oh, has your internet been a lot slower? It's because they're introducing 5G and coronavirus." And look, man, it comes from not following the dietary law. Like with life, I've realized with life, people like to complicate life. They like to make life so hard and difficult, and they like to give you all these conspiracy theories. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 12 with that one. People like to give you all these conspiracy theories about life and 5G internet and Wuhan, and this is made in a lab. And what's his name? And Bill Gates. And people like to give you all these things. Oh, Kobe Bryant was killed by the Illuminati. Kobe Bryant was killed by the Illuminati, and they sacrificed him, and they do these rituals and all of these things. And there's secret societies, and there's these dark holes, and there's this place where they go. Listen, people give you all of these things for days, and then what happens is people sit on the internet, weed addicts sit on the internet and watch all these conspiracy theories. Oh, the Twin Towers was what? What did you say it was? It was an inside job. Yeah, it was an inside job. The Simpsons predicted Kobe Bryant's death. The Simpsons predicted Michael Jackson's death. Listen, man, people tell you all these things. Like, the thing is this, helicopters do crash, man. Same way cars crash, helicopters do crash. I mean, if you take drugs, you do die from a drug overdose. They predicted Michael Jackson's death. Listen, I could have predicted Michael Jackson's death with all them pills he was taking, man. I could have predicted Juice WRLD's death with all them drugs he was taking, man. I could have predicted Fredo Santana's death with all them drugs he was taking. Listen, man, like a man who sleeps with another man's wife, I can predict his death also, man. That man's gonna catch him in the house one day and kill him, man. Listen, it's not no conspiracy, man. Everything ain't a conspiracy, but read that for me.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So basically, what Solomon's saying is, I've been around. I've seen all these things, seen all this wealth. I've seen everything, man. This man was the wisest man on the earth, and he said, "You know what? Let me just hear the conclusion of the whole matter." Solomon probably had all the people bring all these silly conspiracy theories to him because he used to give counsel a lot. So in his time, he must have had these silly theories. But go ahead. So it says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter." This is the conclusion of the whole matter when it comes to everything that you're afraid of and everything that you think is a conspiracy theory. This is the conclusion of the whole matter. Go ahead.
Fear God.
No, fear the Illuminati.
Fear God.
Fear these secret societies.
Fear God.
Fear coronavirus.
Fear God.
Listen, man, this is the conclusion of the whole matter. You fear God. Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
So Solomon, during Solomon's long life of counsels and being king and reigning and seeing everything and listening to problems, Solomon said, "Look, man, this is the conclusion of the whole matter. Just fear God and keep his commandments." Solomon realized nothing else was better than fearing God and keep his commandments, man. But obviously he got weak in his old age, but we're going to go into that because that ties in with Valentine's Day also, man. That ties in with Valentine's Day and you just doing things for the sake of your woman to keep her happy. Listen, man, when these women want to be happy, they don't care about your happiness. They don't care about in the pursuit for their happiness, how sad it makes you. They don't care about that. But as a man, you must what? Forget about your own happiness to please them. Imagine you're a man and you say, "It's against my beliefs to celebrate Valentine's Day, man." Your woman should be like, "You know what? Okay, I accept that." But guess what? She doesn't accept that, man. She presses you and presses you until before you know it, you're on your way to buy her some roses. And she gives you that sad crying face and all of those things. Listen, man, there's plenty of men in the Bible that went through that, man. Some men gave in, some men didn't. And also, every year you're going to be battling your woman about birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day. It's just not a one-off. You're going to be battling her every single year about it, unless she's in the truth. You're going to be battling her every year. You know why? Because every year, the spirit of Valentine is going to jump on her. The spirit of Christmas is going to jump on her. But can we do this? Can we do that? And guess what happens? After a while, you hear it every year. Some men get tired and weak of fighting it and say, oh, come on, then just get the tree. You can't be that man. If you're that man, you're no good to the Lord if you're that man. So don't be doing that. But from there, give me Matthew 16 and 24.
Matthew 16 and 24.
And also, if you got any questions, type them in and we'll get to them. But go ahead.
Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man.
So now I said unto his disciples, like what are we today? We Christ's disciples today, man. We do the same thing Christ's men was doing back then. We serve Christ, man. That's what we do, our King. We follow him, man, and serve and worship God, man. That's what we do, man. We're meant to do the same things that they was doing in the scriptures. And Christ is going to let these men know something real heavy. Go ahead.
If any man come after me.
Christ said, if any man will come after me, go ahead.
Let him deny himself.
Meaning what? You want to serve Christ, you have to deny yourself. What does it mean to deny yourself? Meaning what? You have to put down what you would do, man. Like what you as a man would do, which is pleasing to you. You can no longer do it if it don't coincide with these laws. If it's not lawful, you can't do it. Meaning what? Every year you and your wife go away for Valentine's Day. Guess what? If you want to serve Christ, you can't go away for Valentine's Day no more.
That's right.
You want to serve Christ, you can't have that Christmas tree in the house no more. You want to serve Christ, you can't celebrate birthdays no more. You can't do those things no more. Christ goes, any man that follows me, let him deny himself. And this is why, you see, with all your religions, why should I follow, like say for instance, why should I follow Islam when what? These black men that become Muslims, they was doing the same thing they was doing before there was a Muslim as they are a Muslim. Now, once you come into the truth, you have to deny yourself, which means what? The things that you was doing previously, you can't do no more. And the people around you are supposed to see some change in you. Now, if people around you don't see no change in you, obviously you ain't denying yourself, man. You ain't changed. You're the same as these Christians and these Muslims that just use things for the title and don't change their life. But in here, you have to deny yourself. No more Christmas. No more Easter. No more birthday parties. No more Valentines. Are you ready to do that? Now, you need to ask yourself that. Are you ready to do that? Like, if you ain't ready to do that, obviously you can't follow Christ because Christ said you have to deny yourself.
That's right.
But don't worry. If you weak and whatnot in here, this is where you get the strength, man. You get the strength to deny yourself in here. You get the strength to not give in to your woman. You get the strength to not buy her chocolates and whatnot for Valentine's.